Okay, so I am going to edit a two-camera interview using markers to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to start a new project. I always choose a new location to make sure that I'm not doing whatever was the last one. So I want to be in multicam, and this has multicam as the extension. Double check that I have everything the way I want it. And then I head into this. Now I always try and skip this one because I don't want to import media here. And then I should look like this. I call this the four square. It should say editing in the corner. If it doesn't, you can change the workspace and make sure you're in editing. If it ever is odd looking, like it doesn't look like you thought it should look, you can go here, window, workspaces, down to reset to saved layout. That kind of cleans it up and takes it back to where it was. Now, I can click anywhere in this project window. I can double click. And it will go to import media. I can do the button and do import media, or I can do file, down here, Control I to do it. But right now, what I'm going to do is double click here. And I'm going to actually take three things over. Okay. And there they are loaded up. Right now, they're all highlighted, and I don't want them all highlighted. So instead, I'm going to click on one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on each of these clips. And I'm going to, when I double click on a clip, it's going to load up here in the source window. So the source window is connected to the project window, and the program window is connected to the timeline. So if I double click on this video, it's going to come up here into my source window. All right. So what I want to do here, I'm going to take the playhead, which is this little blue home base looking button all the way over to the left. And I'm going to click on the audio because I only care about the audio right now. That's what that looks like. And then I'm going to get real close in. So I really want to see this audio. And I see on this that there's two claps. Here's the first clap. There's the second clap. So let's see what this sounds like. And there's the second one. So what I want to do is I want to go just before this first clip, and it's real important to get this right. So I see exactly where I have it because I'm going to put it in exactly the same place on the other clip. So here I have my blue line, my playhead right next to that. And then I just press the I button on my keyboard, I as in in. And when I do that, that's the in for this audio. Okay. So right now, this whole that's where this clip will start when I drag it into the timeline. Okay. So now I'm going to drag this one into the timeline. Okay. And because this is a vertical reel, obviously you don't have to do this if it's a horizontal reel. I'm going to have to click on this, come up here to Effect Controls, go to 9, change the rotation to 90. And then don't forget this important step, going to sequence settings, and then changing it from 1920 to 1080 to 1080 to 1920. Just kind of reversing those things. And then I press OK. I do OK again. There it is. Okay. So this one, right now, if I play it, it's going to not start where the clip originally started, but it's going to play starting at that clap with my endpoint. Okay. So that's where that is. All right. So now I'm going to go and pick the other clip. I'm going to do this Tapio interview here, and I'm going to double click it. There it is up here. I want to go into my audio and I want to get really close. And I should be able to see this. So let's just see where this is. Okay, so I know now where it is. So I'm going to get really close so that I can really see where that is. Is that where it is? Is that what I said? Okay, so there is where it is, and I'm going to go right next to that. Okay, and so that should be the same endpoint, but you know what? Let me just get really close to it. Okay. And I'm going to press N for my endpoint. Okay. And now I'm going to take my interview and put it over here. And look, it went into V2 and V1. And so this should also start at the same clap. Okay. Did you hear how that, even though I have both of these on, the clap was at exactly the same place? So now I'm going to have to, on this top one, Tapio interview, I'm going to have to rotate that. So I've clicked on it. So I've highlighted it. I'm coming up here to my source window and doing effect controls, rotation 90, enter. Okay, so now I have both things. So let me show you. I just want to double check that I've done it. And so right now we're listening to A1, but we're looking at V2 and the lips moved in exactly the same way. So we did it correctly. So I'm going to do a couple things now. All right. So this is what I've got here. Let's kind of review what I have in my timeline. I have a V2, which is a close-up, is the actual interview. And V2 and A2 is my main audio, right? Now, V1 and A1 is the close-up, okay? It's number 41. If I come over here in my project window, I can see that 41 is the close-up, okay? So in here, I don't want little pieces of this audio. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to click on 41, then I'm going to right click and I'm going to unlink it. So now that means that my video is no longer linked with my audio. Okay, now look, with the Tapio interview, it is still linked. The video and the audio is, and we want to keep that. But down below with 41, the video and the audio is not linked anymore. And I'm clicking on A1 audio. So I'm going to delete that audio. Okay, so now there is only one audio, and it's the main audio that went with the Tapio interview. Okay, now I'm about to do my edits, but I don't want my V1 and V2 videos to get out of sync. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to draw a box through all three, V1, V2, V1, A2. And I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to group them. So now if I click on one, all three are highlighted. Okay. So now I can't I can't screw up my synchronization anymore. So what I want to do is I want to cut out the questions and I want to make this sound natural. So I want to make my audio a little bit bigger so I can see it. And any place where where I want to make a cut, I'm going to stop. So let me do this. Okay. So here she says, my name is Katie Tapio. So I'm going to go, look where I'm going. This is a little interesting. So what I'm going to do here is here is right here where there's this big peak. That's where she says, my name is Katie Tapio. But I'm not going to put my playhead right next to that. I'm going to do it where there's a little bit of a pause just before she says that. So I'm going to put it there. This is where I want to cut it. I'm making sure that my clips are selected. And then I'm going to do Control K. And now a there's a cut there. So you know what? I want to actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep going. So let me go. I don't really want her to spell things, so I'm going to put it here and I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to do Control K. Okay, so this is a kind of a way to do this pretty fast. So I'm going to have her say I am in 10th grade and I can kind of see where that starts. Control K. I'm going to keep going. And I want to get I talk too much. So you can hear my voice, so I don't want to have that there. So I'm going to do that, Control K, and I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to keep this. I am going to have her start here, Control K. Okay, and here she goes. Okay, so I'm going to do a little pause here. I'm going to highlight it, then I'm going to do Control K, and I'm going to keep going. So I'm just going to kind of end with her saying, I want to be a constitutional lawyer. So I'm going to highlight this, Control K. And then she says, okay, Control K. Okay. So I have kind of my ideas of what I'm going to be doing here, and now I have to cut out some portions and then kind of get rid of the gaps. So here I am, and I'm going to play the first part. So I don't want this first part. So, oh, you know what? I need to ungroup everything. So I'm going to draw over everything. I'm going to right click it and I'm going to ungroup it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is come down here. I've highlighted all three. I'm going to delete it. Then in the gap, I'm going to right click and ripple delete, which is going to move everything over. Okay. So I don't want this section that says, or has her spelling her name, and I need to get a little closer in or this isn't going to work. So remember, I kind of want to do all three of these. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to ripple delete it. Okay. And if I ever screwed up, I can go Control Z or edit undo. So if I ever do the wrong thing, I can go back. Okay, I don't care about the junior high stuff, so I'm going to get rid of that. Ripple delete. Now I'm going to go to this next part. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this part. And then I'm going to do right click, ripple delete. Okay. Okay. So then I'm going to get rid of the last one. Okay. So this is what I've got so far. And I have my whole interview and I have my, both my A and B camera. I have them all synced, etc. So I have to decide, do I want to start seeing her from far away? Yes. So right now I see just the whole interview. And I think that I really want in this section, I want to see her up close because she says something kind of interesting. So in this case, um, right now my Tapio interview is linked with the audio. So before I get rid of um, this section, I need to unlink the audio just for that. So I'm going to unlink it. And now I'm just going to get rid of my video. So what's underneath it? The close-up of Katie. Okay. So I think that means that I'm going to here unlink again. And then I'm only going to delete the video. So I'm going to start with her up close. Then we see her far away. Then she's up close. Then she's far away. And at the very end, which is down here, actually, that's the way we're going to go. So there's only three parts to it. So we're going to see her up close. Then we're going to see her far away. Then we're going to see her up close. Then we're going to see her far away. Okay. So we see whatever is on top is the video that we see. Okay. So I double check that all of the lips are at the right time, but I have linked things and grouped things so that I don't get out of sync. Okay. So now I'm going to save and then I'm going to export media. H.264 means that I'm going to do it as an MP4. I need to make sure that I'm in my multicam desktop. And then I'm also going to make sure that my file name is okay. And then I export. And that is the one that I'm going to be putting into Canvas.